It's possible to know what happened now. And I can give you some of the flavor of it this evening in case you decide to embark on your own research to determine the truth or falseness of the verifiable claim. Semiotics is symbolism in cinema, basically, and it's a codified language, and sometimes it's very in your face and loud and clear, like when D.W. Griffith invented the burning cross with Raoul Walsh for the KKK. It was adopted from cinema. And it was had a film called Birth of the Nation, had a Negro soldier drooling while he chased a white woman. Well, this kind of symbolism, the streak on the chin, becomes alluded to by Lenin in Is How I Won the War. And you have crossovers from symbolism that allude to something. The Magic Christian starring Ringo Starr, for example, had a violinist who collects some payment and he's playing mournfully. And when he gets the money, he goes into a very upbeat jig. And the same thing happens in Diva in 1981, which has allusions to the Burstyn script. It's in the kid's mail bag and at my birthday and so on. And telltale allusions to the hitchhiking adventure that I took to her for a play. It's the background sound, the crossover between um, cinema and reality that they like to monkey with the help of people like Mel Gibson and Martin Scorsese. They're using a mirror system of metaphor for cinema that comes from Adolf Hitler's UGA studios. So in Diva, the guy is playing the accordion mournfully. He gets money and he goes hopping, dancing away. And this is in cahoots with the pornographic genocide system overall, which used a C and a Star of David, and Seattle underscored it by Ripper murdering Shannon Harps. At the penny line, you're not allowed to profit by the Robert card, which ties you to in the court of the Crimson King and no pussyfooting and things like that. Or um, the dog sled will howl. And they bring in geniuses from a state like supporters of Trump and Reagan playing two virgin pussy ball, producing a hottie from the casino to cover for Mount Desert Island, where AIDS was proven man-made in the Venus flytrap that was talked about in advance by the people who perpetrated the whole cock and bull story of Gail Burstyn's letters. So the Lenins then claimed that they had the right to sabotage the investigation into AIDS being man-made to defend a Jewish virgin named Katz, K-A-T-Z, and the psychiatric ward run by Beng, B-E-N-G, to defend the Ripper murderers of Shannon Harps in the name of protecting the virgin of King Crimson, who is an Israeli Australian named Katz. They had the right to sabotage the investigation into the origin of AIDS in defense of the black man's mongering, in defense of Obama, the brother with a suitcase full of money. And those are the realities. Pick at it all you want to. Those are the realities. Those are the thumb screws that Seattle, Washington, and Pittsburgh have turned on the reality of the situation. Now, how were they plotting all this from a time tracing from 1919? The Italian futurists. And then just happened to let Lennon go out, get Lennon to go out that night. And he was modeled into position. His lyrics are the soundtrack. So the only conclusion you can reach is that he set up the story of his death so they would have a weapon to use to sabotage investigation into what really happened. And that's what's going on. And I'm being housejacked by them. I'm being housejacked by people like Yoko Ono, who has a decades old itinerary of stories about me and a whole sea of dacoits slavishly shooting up bowling alleys full of deaf kids in the name of Imagine. I mean, they're using the song Imagine as the theme song for the extermination of Gaza. Literally. Imagine there's no Gaza. They're literally using coming down like the Fiddlers of Sobibor. And they've scoured the algorithm so that if you look up the Fiddlers of Sobibor, you get a German website about hope in all circumstances. That's not what the Fiddlers of Sobibor do. They led what Goebbels called the merchandise to the crematoriums, to the gas chambers. And they have this thing up now about Jews getting revenge, but not by use of gas chambers. Yes, they used the gas chamber on me as a child. Yes, they did. I mean, media is morally debased. They can't keep up with their own stupidities, much less make sense of something as spiteful as Israel's revenge.